8:32, time to begin the meeting. Thank you all for being here. To our audience, do we have anybody online today? I don't see anyone. No? So no at this time, but if they join us,
Two.
we'll be sure. Oh, there are two on there now?
I'm seeing in the participants.
Okay, so thank you for joining us and for being online with us today. We have the agenda in front of us. I understand before we approve the agenda, that a motion would like to be made to amend the agenda and add an item.
I would like to amend the agenda and add an item that would read procedural guidelines for providing information to the board.
It would be my recommendation to add that between items 3 and 4 on the agenda. So we have a motion. Any objections to amending the agenda? All right, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So the motion is approved. Now, if I may have a motion to approve the amended agenda.
So moved.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All right, motion carries. I have the minutes. They've been circulated. Are there any corrections or changes to the minutes as submitted to the board? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the minutes from Wednesday, January 28th as presented?
I so move.
Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the minutes are approved, and I'll circulate for signature, please. Corinne.
Thank you, Glenda. All right, so office update time. The first one is that the voter registration deadline is Friday. That's the 6th at 5 p.m. So make sure you get your registrations in by then. WLOS has been doing great covering this election. So I did an interview for them on voter registration this morning. So we're getting some coverage from them, which is fantastic. I will continue to do my media availability also. The next one is the start of early voting, which is next week on Thursday, the 12th. So we're right around the corner. It is February 3rd, which means that we're only 1 month away from Election Day. So we're on. Obviously, we're doing absentee by mail, so things are going well. The next update that I have is that, and in fact, it was just before this meeting, I saw that the state board sent out the link. So for the conference for Thursday and Friday. So you all should have that in your inbox, and that's how you will access the virtual conference. So that's for Thursday and Friday. Oh, Marianne.
Well, actually, I'm doing this with Jake. We were wondering if we can get this room.
Oh, yeah, yes, we can figure out how to,
This room
good
or the
room.
other room,
Mhm.
doesn't matter for both days. For both days, Jake?
Oh, yes, please, but gee, I want something from the state board about this thing. I'm not
It's
seeing it.
there, it's an email, it's the very last one that came in today.
So we'll find a space for you all to be able to do that.
But we can also do it at home if we want to.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes,
I
yeah,
would rather do mine at home, I think.
yeah, that is just fine. Yeah, and what Marianne is saying is in order to get credit, you need to individually log in. So make sure that you do that. And of course, that's same for everyone. I already mentioned it, but yes, early voting begins next week. We have those 11 locations. Setup starts Thursday, Friday. We'll do 2 sites every day until those are done. And like I said, last time early voting training is complete. So we're all set up there. I did want to make sure, since we have had some weather, to remind the board that we might have to actually use our inclement weather policy, the resolution that we passed in 2024 and then agreed to use when we approved the early voting plan for the primary. And so that is that we follow the county's inclement weather closures. The only time that the board would need to come together would be if there was some sort of instance where you felt like we needed to close one early voting site and not all of them or something like that. That would be an emergency meeting. We'd have to call it. That'd be the only topic that we could talk about. We could do that virtually if needed, but you would need to be available to be able to do that.
Have we ever tested out for the board whether we can all get on a Zoom to do that?
A test. We have done a Teams and a phone hybrid. I know that we've done that before. That was when we had the tornado warnings, if you remember. Yes. But
That'd be
And
a
are you-
worthwhile test.
mhm.
But just to make sure that everybody knows how to get logged
Yeah.
on, we can get the whole board on.
Well, so we can do it quickly rather than have to learn at the
Yes.
time, you know.
Yeah.
just go- Director Duncan, I did want to call to your attention as well as to my colleagues on the board, because you're talking about inclement weather in a primary election. One of the major political parties in this state is trying like heck to make the presidential primary the first in the nation in North Carolina. So anyone who cares about inclement weather policy, you might want to pick up the phone or contact your legislator in Raleigh and say, you know, you have a February primary that makes it harder for voters, makes it harder for election administrators. So this is a hot topic right now, and I know that some Democrats in Raleigh are pushing it. So yes, I'm afraid so.
Oh,
I can't get these guys and gals to see the light, but I'm going to try.
Mhm.
I like May. Anyway, I just
Interesting.
wanted to bring to your attention that this is in play and we may see something in the coming weeks.
That's
Thank you.
interesting. It would really compress the time between the end of filing. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jake. And then just kind of along those lines, I wanted to reassure the board that we've had to cancel some election trainings. We've been able to reschedule those. So we're doing fine with that. We're kind of front loading, and then we always save a training in case we need that overflow. So we're going to use that this time. And then overall, things are going really well. So we've talked about this before about moving and having a new website and those things. And so I'm really happy with how our progress is. And it's true that being on 3 floors is less efficient, but we're doing just fine. So I wanted to make sure that the board knew that I felt confident in what we're doing.
There haven't been any more breaches in security or anything like that. And down here, nothing to report on that. Great.
Nope.
Thank you.
And then the last thing, and I was hoping that Amy could talk on this, is that we do have an appeal on the Lunsford Mormon challenge. And so I was hoping that Amy would talk about that process and let you know how we connect to that.
Sure. So there's really not much for this board to do because you already did it and a great job at that. So what the state board is going to do is do what's called a whole record review. And that's when they look at everything that was admitted into evidence and they will make a decision. I believe it is also public. They have to determine if there was substantial evidence to support your decision. So that's it. I think they're going to make that decision. And substantial evidence is is defined as relevant evidence a reasonable mind might accept as adequate to support the conclusion. So it's not beyond, it's a pretty good standard. It's not overly burdensome. I spoke to Adam Steele, who is counsel to the state board. He said they're going to try to get it done before early voting starts. So that's when we can expect an answer, but there won't be any additional giving of evidence or anything of that nature.
A couple of questions. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sure.
Maybe one of them's the same, Jake. If it's going to be public, how do we get alerted to when it might be?
The state board puts out the press releases that announce their meetings, and they've been doing them on Wednesdays. So I would look for that. It's on the state board's website, and then you can also sign up for their press releases to come straight to your
Mine
email.
come to my email.
Right.
They
Likewise.
usually send them to all the boards in the state because I've gotten them for other challenges.
That's great. We did sign you all up for those when you became board members. So,
Yes.
so hopefully you're getting them. But if not, you can sign up or check their website.
The state board is meeting tomorrow, and there is a candidate challenge on their agenda, but not this one.
So Amy, while you have the floor.
Sure.
There've been questions about the redaction of information and what was omitted from the evidence prior to it being submitted to the board. Would you please speak to that and share the law and why it was done and how it was done?
Sure. So this board, as any county board, when they hold a candidate challenge hearing, can accept different types of evidence. You can accept testimony, which is given under oath. You can accept affidavits, which are sworn to. And then, of course, you can accept documents. The board, election services, in addition to receiving, let me back up. Prior to the hearing, the candidates and the challengers submitted evidence to the board in the form of documents. Some of those documents were accompanied by written statements by the person who provided the document. Those statements would have been unsworn testimony given by that particular witness. And the board would not be permitted to accept that information unless and until it was testified to. It was not part of an affidavit either. So it's just a document like this one with the witness's personal description of what it is and their belief why it should be admitted and their belief why it's relevant and their belief as to what it shows, which are all decisions that the board has to make. You have to make that based on sworn testimony or an affidavit swearing to the truthfulness of it. When I saw that information had been provided with these documents, it was my advice to the election services that be redacted. Because it was the personal opinions and beliefs of that particular person. It was redacted. And then the person whose documents that were testified to what was in that. I believe that this board also accepted that, didn't have any questions at the time as to what that was. So as you will recall, my job is to protect the decisions of this board. I don't, you want to make a decision that was unlikely to be appealed. Had you accepted those documents in advance, read the information on them, and considered that, even inadvertently, if you had reached an opposite conclusion and had an appeal, I think that would have raised a much larger evidentiary issue because you would have made your decision, however inadvertently, on information which you should not have had. If a person wants to testify, then they can do that. So it wasn't a question of relevance so much as it was a question of admissibility. And it is my opinion, which the board does not have to accept, but it is my opinion that information was not appropriate in order to secure the decision of this board prior to the testimony of that witness or the witness submitting it in the form of an affidavit.
Makes
So
sense.
my understanding, just for my own purposes, because we could not see it in advance because it was not an affidavit. It was a witness's opinion, and that witness had the opportunity to testify in the hearing, so it could not be in the documents we received as evidence.
That is my legal opinion. I also made those documents available to this board afterwards so you could see exactly what information was redacted. And it was what the witness had described as source. So that was the place where she got it. Description of the document, which you could read the document for yourself. Relevance, I can't remember the 4 categories that were provided, but there was one for each of the documents. Had that witness submitted in the form of a sworn affidavit, that would have been a different story, but that's not what happened. It was just a statement. And in my experience as a trial lawyer, which the rules are much more strict than they are here, neither lawyers nor parties can just hand up things that have been written without authentication with certain evidentiary requirements. So, my goal was to safeguard this board's decision. You did not find in a way that it really mattered in this case, but had you found in the opposite, and if you had found for the challenger in this particular case and the candidate had appealed, I think it would have been a much more difficult appeal because there would have been a very serious evidentiary issue.
I haven't reviewed all the statutes that you sent. I've started, but that's a little bit of a job to review them all. It looked to me like that the evidence was not, it was saying by affirmation, not by affidavit. And that was in the general statutes, not the 163 statutes. So it looked to me like that could have been an affirmation that to the best of her knowledge, that was true. To the best, and that's, just to the best of her knowledge. But my concern was we didn't even know that anything had been redacted or removed.
Well, I mean, to a certain, you were. I mean, there was a big black block on the document, and I would have been happy to explain at that time. I do understand your concern, and in the future, I think that we would address it differently. But again, there wasn't even, I think there has to be an affidavit, and I'll go back to that statute. But there wasn't even an affirmation. This was just the witnesses' statements as to what that person believed that these documents showed. Not subject to cross-examination by the other party, not subject to questioning by the board, not subject to any other review other than just handed it up. It basically would be a de facto way to avoid having to testify, and that is sort of the opposite of having an open hearing.
What is the difference between affirmation and just stating what you think?
An affidavit or testimony requires that you are sworn under oath to
Right.
tell the truth.
But the affirmation, which is what she's saying is in the law, what would that be?
I would have to read what we're referring to,
Okay.
because in general, an affirmation. So if you don't want to swear in a Bible, you can affirm that the things that you are telling are the truth. So affirmations and swearing are generally considered to be the same thing. As more and more people move away from swearing on Bibles, either because it's against their religion or because they don't believe the Bible has any particular effect, they can affirm to tell the truth. But in general, those things are effectively have the same function in that you are therefore subject to types of perjury issues that you would not be subject to if you just made a statement.
When you say that the board understood what you were doing, which board are you talking about? Because I know 3 of us did not know it at least. I didn't know that anything was going to be redacted when the information was handed out in a room full of people. I didn't know what all the black lines were, didn't even notice them actually. And I did not understand that things had been redacted. And after the meeting was over and the next day, I realized or found out that they had been redacted without board knowledge. So we as a board, I think, should have had a decision to make here for 5 members of the board, and nobody else has the purview to do that for us. That was my complaint about how things came down with the hearing. We weren't given the information ahead of time to see if it needed to be redacted. We weren't given the purview to look at it and to make our own decision. And then it was redacted without our knowledge.
But Courtney, if it had been shared with us beforehand, it's inappropriate material for us to read beforehand because it's not an affidavit. It was going to be presented as sworn testimony. The only argument I would make in consideration of that is that, and I think Amy said that moving forward, we should have been told that there was that there were statements made that needed to be redacted because they were not an affidavit and were going to be sworn testimony in the thing. We could not see the evidence to determine whether it should or should not be redacted.
That's legal. Whose legal opinion is that?
Hers.
Okay, is it for the county? Is that a statute, a state statute for public hearings.
No, I'm sorry, I've got to interrupt because I have not been in this conversation yet, and I'm getting very, 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 very frustrated. If we see that thing and we shouldn't have, we have tainted the process. And I appreciate being shielded from a tainted process by legal counsel. And that is why we need legal counsel. It helps keep this board on the straight and narrow in the manner in which we address our responsibilities. I'm very, very concerned about this because I was here for that hearing and none of these questions came up then. And that was the appropriate spot and that was the appropriate time.
So
I am very concerned that this is being appealed to the State Board of Elections. And I would like to know the basis of the appeal and who made the appeal.
Can we know what the appeal is?
We have to know what it's public.
So
Well, let me start with Ms. Blossman's question. Yes, it was my legal opinion. So the statute requires that this board act in accordance with the Rule 8C, which is the rules of evidence. So my opinion is based on the North Carolina rules of evidence. But I will tell you that I'm just one lawyer. So once this issue came to light, I followed up with counsel to the state board. And counsel to the state board agreed with my interpretation.
Well, that gives me some comfort. The thing is, all the board members should have known ahead of time that things were going to be redacted and that it was a state statute that required it. That's all I'm saying, Amy. I'm not questioning your ability to guide the hearing the way you did, because I thought you did an excellent job. The information did not get to the board. It got to some members of the staff, it got to you, and it got to Glenda. And the rest of the board, as far as I know, did not get any of that information ahead of time.
right.
And I sat through a meeting looking at a redacted testimony, information, and didn't know what it was.
right,
And that
but
was unfair as a board member to have that happen.
yeah, I think that we've remedied that though. I think we can beat that horse more or not. But I think with what Amy said, from this point forward, we would be handed the documents that are redacted if need to be, and she would explain why they're redacted.
And what that includes is informing the board every step of the way so that we will know what is happening, not just one member or two members of the board, but all the board knows what's happening and why it's happening and legally what stance that is. And that's fine. That's fine.
And that is fine. And there's also responsibility on the 5 members of the board when they have questions to ask them.
Yeah.
Now, I'm glad questions are being asked now, but we had that hearing a week ago. That was the time and that was the place. So this is a learning experience for all of us. Everyone in the room learned from this, and we're going to do better next time. But I'm still really concerned how this has ended up in the inbox for the State Board of Elections. I can't wait to find out the answer to that.
The
What is
public
the
has a
basis
right
of
to
the
appeal if they want to.
Sure,
and
sure,
it-
sure,
and
but
that
you got to have a
and
reason
we don't
for it.
know why or who's doing it,
But we
and I
can
don't
know
either.
why.
So it just happens, and the public is going to do what they want to
But
do.
It's public that we know why there is an appeal, just like it's that we knew why they challenged.
Here's my concern. I mean, we've got absentee ballots out there. I mean, it's election time, and we're still talking about who's on the ballot and who's not on the ballot.
Well, the
And that
appeal-
troubles me a great deal.
Well, to be clear, the appeal was timely made and appropriate.
Of course.
There's nothing wrong with the appeal. The appeal raised the issue that the person disagreed with your decision. And they also did raise the issue, what has been described as procedural infirmity, because they disagreed with the fact that the unsworn statement had been taken out. Like I said, I consulted with the state board who agreed with my interpretation. But again, the state board doesn't have to accept the opinion of their lawyer any more than you have to accept the opinion of me, other than to say that our goal is just to support your decisions. But I understand the concern. I think that rather than redacting in the future, a better procedure may be to just have the witnesses, candidates, challengers submit documents only without editorializing them in any way. So that way, neither I nor staff actually has to make that decision. So that's an
I
option too.
understand editorializing in a challenge like that can be very problematic. And so I do understand exactly what you're saying. I'm just wondering, well, procedure and getting information to the whole board, I think was sideswiped this procedure. I think maybe we can do a whole lot better next time. Hopefully we won't have other challenges, but they may come up. But when we do, I hope we can handle them differently and include the whole board.
What are you saying that information was sent prior to the meeting to some people on the board? I'm not clear what didn't get, what we all didn't have.
I thought I saw that in an email someplace. I don't know. Was it? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
That's
I'm
why
not
when
clear of
you
that.
said I received evidence beforehand.
Huh.
Well,
None of us-
who made the decision to do the redaction without the whole board
Amy.
knowing?
Amy.
I did
And she
because
called the state board for further authorization to do it because
Okay.
if we had seen the editorial, Courtney, it would have caused astronomical problems, especially
not-
with an appeal.
I want to stay within procedure
Right.
and don't think I don't.
Okay.
I understand
don't-
that.
So what procedure got missed?
She
With
thought-
that she had permission to redact?
let me be clear, I actually did not confirm my opinion with state council until after. So let me say that my opinion was ratified, but it was not,
You
I
didn't ask
believed
first.
very strongly that I was correct, having done a million trials. But I did have it ratified after the appeal was made to confirm that, oh my gosh, did I make the right call? Because, it's called practicing law because we're figuring it out as we go along. But like I said, my opinion was ratified, but I understand the concern. I think that we can certainly find a way to handle it that you don't have to imagine things moving forward.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I do want to say, Jake, when we looked at the evidence, there were so many documents that were poor quality that I didn't realize they were redactions. I thought they were just poor quality documents. That being said, my only concern again is that we weren't told something had been removed and what the reason was. That would have been fine if we'd had that explanation. And then when someone from the public comes to us and says, but we would have had a reasonable answer for that.
Right, and I would like to make it on record that nobody on this board, as far as I know, received any information prior to that hearing.
I did not.
Well, who made the decision to let Amy go ahead and do the redaction without talking to the whole board or
That-
informing the board?
That's,
Not even asking us, just informing the board.
That's
Who made that decision?
I made the decision. The evidence
You-
came in.
But you're not on the board. You can't do that.
It's
We're
my
a
job.
5-member board and we're being sideswiped or just gone around.
It's-
How can you do that?
It's my
If you
job
don't
to
talk to our board. We are actually holding the hearing.
I understand that position, but by that logic, a person could turn in anything that could cause huge problems for this board in the future. So I reviewed the evidence, found that there was something that was not admissible in the absence of a sworn statement, and removed it subject to testimony by that witness. So you had access to all of the substantive documents, which were not amended in any way.
And in the law, it does talk about challenges and protests, and it says that we should consult counsel when we have a challenge or a protest. That's in there.
Mhm.
So that's what we did. We consulted counsel.
No, wait,
Counsel-
we, who
the
is
board.
we?
The board.
No, we didn't. I
It's
didn't
in-
talk
it's
to
in-
council.
it's in the
I
law.
wasn't at a meeting.
It is in the law that is part of the process when there is a challenge
Mm.
that she's consulted.
Mhm.
So that's what we were doing. We were following the law by asking Amy to do her job, which is, again, if we saw everything that came through, I don't have the capacity to keep all that objective. I don't know enough to do that. So I have to stay objective.
I think we should have had an opinion from the staff on how this was going to be handled and everybody on the board be apprised of what was happening so that we would understand before we got into a meeting with documents in our hand and not realizing they were redacted. That's all I'm saying. it put the board members who had to perform in front of a group of people and read 15 pages of whatever that was turned in for the challenge without any preparation at all and understanding. And understanding is something that's very important for our 5-member board. And I'm going to rest it at that. I think this is enough discussion on this, but I'd like for it to have been handled differently.
I will summarize by saying everything that was redacted was presented in testimony in the hearing. It was redacted because it was not an affidavit. It was an opinion. There's nothing procedural for this board to do. That is a legal requirement, or it would have tainted our decision.
There is no reason, if we all understood that we couldn't see the documents, to have a discussion about that and let it be handled. There was no reason.
That's right. And we're fixed it. So it's, you know, we all know now where we stand and we'll fix it. So.
Any further discussion? No. Amy, thank you. Thank you for coming tonight. I know it's
my job and I'm happy to support the board.
I appreciate you being here and thank you for helping us to understand better. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Happy to do it.
Green, any further updates or were we going to share information about the appeal or what information is there available?
So the appeal is available. I'm trying to pull it up right now, but we can certainly email you a copy of the PDF so you can read it. I can't, for some reason, my computer has decided to just do this.
Yeah, mine was
Do the scroll of the circle of death rather than pulling up the document. So, but we'll get that to you. I can't guarantee any outcome. What I will say is that I feel confident in the decision that you made. So, and I anticipate that counsel to the board will give advice which substantiates and supports decisions that were made. So I'm not super worried about it.
Yeah, if this board's decision is not ratified, that will be fascinating.
Let's not even go there.
I'd rather not.
It's part of due process. Just
It
let it
is, it
fall where
is.
it may. Fall where it may.
That's what we do.
Due process.
We let the chips fall where they.
Yep.
Even if it's right on top of us.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. And then if you will send that out, and then I guess once we get a decision, we'll all know, hopefully next week before early voting begins. I don't think they're hearing it tomorrow, but hopefully by the next Wednesday meeting. All right. Absentee ballot review.
No, we have, you
I'm
put
sorry,
me between
Courtney.
3 and 4,
I
didn't
did.
you?
Yes, ma'am. I thought we had, I didn't mean to skip it. I thought we had included in that last discussion.
Okay. Well, the title of my addenda item is Procedural Guidelines for Providing Information to the Board. And this is a statement that I would just like to read very kindly and then go on with the rest of the meeting. But I'd like this entered into the minutes, Gabrielle. If I can give you a copy of this, I'll do that right after I read it. This board is set up by state statute to be independent. And this board has to demonstrate to the electorate that the BOE is independent. Information should not be withheld from the BOE for any reason. And that's all 5 board members of us are compelled to share information that we have to make a decision on with each other. This is not about recent challenges or the outcome, but about information withheld without board knowledge. And that was basically the redaction. And I just wanted to know about it ahead of time. I'm not saying it was good or bad or indifferent. It just needed to know about it ahead of time. If there is some question about procedure, this board can consult our BOE attorney for direction. Information should be given straight to the board and not circumvented by staff, other attorneys, or any other entity. We are a 5-member independent board. I know now this board should have reviewed the challenges before the hearing, and if we are not allowed to look at them, I understand that, but at least we should have seen the challenges are on the table. You cannot read them, but they're there, and we're going to deal with them. Since we were the panel conducting the hearing, we are the panel conducting the hearing. And I think that we sent out packages to other people by law, to the other people who were running for those offices, the county political chairs, and 2 or 3 other entities got the challenges, did they not? What did they get exactly? Which is another thing I don't know, and as a board member, I should have known that. What did they receive?
So, so there's a few things that we did prior to the hearing. So we made sure that you all had the challenge guide to make sure that you understood that process. We also sent out the appeal, which had the proceedings in it, which also describes the process. And then we had a meeting for the week before. And Courtney, I think you were able to view the recording of that meeting to kind of go over the those processes too. So in that, it directs that the 2 parties have to share their evidence with each other. And so that is what happened there. And it requires that the candidates also receive that information, the other candidates in that race. So that all the sheriff's candidates and all the city council people.
So what exactly did they receive that was sent out to the party chairs and to the other candidates who were running for those 2 offices?
So they received that the evidence that they might have offered, they didn't offer all of the evidence to the board, but they submitted a packet of what they might be offering, and then they selected what they would offer. And so, and that was
Who
what
is
was
they?
presented at
I'm
the
sorry.
hearing, the candidate and the challenger
Okay.
at the hearing.
All right. So it's not necessary or warranted to blindside the board. We got the information in our hands 2 minutes before, and I think it would be well for us to review the duties of the board, the duties of the chair of the board, the duties of the executive director, and of course, we're in the process of reviewing the MOU, which I think is probably going to come down in the very short time frame. So that's my statement, and I'll give it to Gabrielle to be entered into the minutes, if you don't mind. Thank you.
No, please.
Just by way of a quick evidentiary response, the reason you can't get the evidence in advance is because it has to be admitted by the board. As you recall, every single piece of evidence was admitted by motion. So if you get it in advance, then that circumvents that process. And if you think about it, it makes sense. I mean, in any jury trial, the jury doesn't get the evidence before the witness is testified. They get it at the time. And it can be very burdensome for them to have to review hundreds of photographs, voluminous documents, things like that, sometimes in a courtroom. So what you went through in an evidentiary hearing is pretty similar to the way they all go. It can feel very overwhelming, but reviewing the evidence in advance of the admission by the board into evidence would also not be appropriate.
Amy, I totally agree with you, everything you say, and I know it's well grounded. We just should have been told ahead. That's all. Just information, letting us know what is going on. That's all. Thank you. I'm going to hand this to Gabrielle.
Sorry. Thank you, Courtney. I just wanted to correct myself a little bit. So the evidence is transferred between the candidate and the challenger, but not the other candidates. So the other candidates just get the appeal, sorry, not the appeal, the challenge, the order of proceedings, kind of that packet that you all received. That's what they received.
So just, Courtney, I just have to address one thing. I think that the week we spent beforehand in going through the process and procedures and stuff was to explain what to expect and what was coming and how we would receive information So it was shared with us. We were trained on what to expect. We didn't see and receive the expected material because we can't. So I think to Amy's point and to Corinne's point, we did know procedurally and process-wise what was going to happen. We did not receive the evidence beforehand because we cannot.
I understand
Okay.
how the attorney at that point had a chance to tell the board that things could be redacted, and that wasn't even mentioned. Because I attended that board by Zoom, that meeting, so I understand. I heard the information.
I think that's the part we're gonna fix.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it and appreciate your information. And Amy, Courtney, everyone, thank you. Now, Aaron, absentee ballot review.
All right, can everybody hear me today?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, so we have a few more ballots today than we did last week. We're going to have a total of 41 to go through. That's 39 civilian and 2 overseas. We want to give a little bit of groundwork before we look at these today. Many of our ballots came from our MAT visits. If you're not familiar with our MAT teams, they're the multi-partisan assistant teams, and they can assist voters in covered facilities like nursing home and clinics. So those are those bipartisan, multi-partisan teams that you all approve. So you're going to see when you look at these ballots, many of the same names under the assist and witness. So just to prepare you for that, that is our MAT team members. And also the majority of our ballots today are going to have the photo ID exception form, which we didn't have last week. So just be prepared for that. That's very common for those that are in these facilities to use those forms. And remember that this form is what the voter must provide if they have not provided a copy of their acceptable photo ID. And they need to indicate the reason and sign it. Yes, ma'am.
Just a question on the exception form. What are the exceptions?
There are many, and they are in your binder as an example, and I can actually go through them.
No. I just
No natural
Okay.
disaster this time, I guess.
Yes, so it's things like did not have access to make a photocopy, could be illness or disability. It's pretty much any reason that they put on the form. So there are several.
Yeah.
I have an
As
extra
soon as
copy
I
here that
asked
you
the
can look
question, I went, oh,
at.
it's over here.
Here's an extra copy.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
What Jake is saying is last time almost all of them had the same.
Yeah, so natural disaster can be a reason as well, which y'all were familiar with last year or 2024. And while y'all go through these, I'll also note that my team has folded them in a way that they can stay in the pocket and you can see all the information that you need to see. If you need to grab those out, you of course can, but it can make it quicker and easier if you keep them in that pocket. And just to update you on some numbers before we get started, we have now sent out 795 ballots. And any other questions before we get started? All right.
You want Mary Ann and Lenny together, and then do you want to join me in a little while?
Yeah, I was
How do
gonna
you
say
want-
maybe the last 5 or 10
Okay.
I can
Oh, yeah.
do, and y'all
All
can
right.
do the first 10.
Actually, for you guys, we have a big precinct here of fraternities from one of our facilities.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Is
just
it- is
divide
this
those,
the-
Mary
is
Ann, and
this
then I'll
the
do
whole
the
one?
other half
Yes,
with
that is the
Sally.
whole
So we'll do-
precinct.
Okay, do we have another one?
We have some other smaller ones here,
Well,
so I can pass those out.
Yeah, we're just gonna swap.
They
out
just
with-
want me to have a turn to do
Chance,
some,
yeah.
so
All righty. Which way you want to go?
Here, I signed them last time.
Okay. All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's get this off. What's our name? Let me see.
Okay, we're at 8.3.
Yes, 8.3.
CID 78. Okay, so here's the signature. Here are the witnesses.
And it looks like, yeah,
Yeah, so they,
system.
right, the reason is
You have to drag that out.
disability or illness. Got the name. I think he was saying that we don't have to drag it out. If you don't want it, because you've got it here in the name. I mean, you can if you feel like it, but.
Looks like the same signature to me. Tap it down.
They haven't given it back. Jake, did you and Courtney sign the minutes? No, I just need them back. I didn't mean to interrupt, but.
I said I'd sign them and then I forgot.
All right,
So the answer to that question is no, not yet.
8.3, 78.
So, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, the report. I just see that. We didn't see that ballot style on here.
No,
Is that on
I don't think so. I think the ballot's not
I
on
don't
there.
think it's on
Is it on the other printout or no? I can't
there.
remember.
No, it's not on here
Okay.
either. That's what that's.
So we just have to assume they know.
Oh, wait a
that.
minute, here it is.
Please, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, five.
it is on.
Right.
Sorry
Close
about
enough.
that, Chief.
All right, chief. Oh, sign it. All right, next one.
Yeah, I'll look for this while you sign. How about that?
Beautiful.
The next one is. We're good.
Okay, signature.
Yep. Assistance. One on the other side. Yep, looks the same to me.
You good?
How was it?
We don't have, I can't see. They're supposed to have the numbers on here, but maybe not. Depending on what they checked. They just checked this a little bit. They checked the.
All right. Are you going to the gym or are you just going home?
So. Okay.
You too. You did good. All right, next.
Well, let's get that one.
So one,
Yes.
8.3, 48.
Take a nap or something.
Yes. You sign it and I'll start on the next one.
All right, I love you, son. Just drive careful in traffic. All right.
This is gonna be
Thank
all
you.
of
I don't know about you, but I watched Groundhog Day last night. I watched that movie every February.
Signatures.
He saw his shadow. The best part is
Five, okay, and it's number 2, so there's no numbers.
All right, so 47, 8.301.
I just cannot believe.
Yep. Absolutely. This one I've already got.
Their ballots, signatures look good.
Yep. Got all of them.
And because
This
they're
one does have the
bipartisan
social.
teams that go to do them, like in a
Let's look at the
smaller
other side.
precinct, I'll do it with Sally instead of Mary Ann. So we
Yeah.
divide, so that there's always bipartisan.
You can say it's
Yeah.
gotta be either.
Can't really question it.
All right, good point. Take more than that to question.
There's a mark, so.
Well, point.
Yeah. Maybe they should change that if they haven't, so.
I don't know how they do. You can't. Somebody's disabled and can't read. All right, 68, 8.3.
Yeah, and that looks okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, next, you got the name.
Yes, 8.3, and next 37.
37, yeah.
Okay.
Here's their signature. Here's
People. Okay. Looks the same way. Signature wise.
Yeah.
Actually, that would make it a little better. Even.
Yeah. You can read it a little bit.
That was,
Oh, one kind of ballot.
Yep.
Fruit, 837, 8.3.
okay.
This one will be interesting to see what it does.
Ah, geez, this is not gonna read.
Well, they'll find that out when
Let's
they
put
get
it,
there.
let's put it up here.
Do you want to take a look at this one? Do you want it just in the regular pile? It's gonna be hard to read this one.
Looks like it maybe have to be duplicated.
Okay. Yeah, let's put that one.
Okay. Sure.
Just concerned with
yeah.
the reading of it.
Yeah. Alrighty, next.
Got more for you.
Another same name. Signature's pretty simple. They must have been around together for one time.
Looks like it must be a family.
Yeah.
Around the bottom side.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
This will be the Utah.
Ballot style.
And
Yep.
349.
that's what we're expert for getting that first.
Yeah. All right, here's the next. We were just talking about it. 50.
50. Chappelle. Canada.
Ah.
And there's the X.
Mm-hmm.
Discovery, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was.
That's you. I actually, so.
When they started, the last section was switched. I wanted to come up with it,
I requested this.
because they're gonna be finished before we ever get to
Got
this.
it. Okay.
We just have more. Ballot style.
Yeah. It is 1.
Okay.
8.1.
Okay, this one on the top of the pile once you're done. And then
And they'll duplicate it. Okay, thank you.
Or if you want your procedure question. Sure, I initialed this. Yes, I did. Okay.
Yes, name is correct. And 8.3. Or 8.3. See how we can't do that?
294.
Okay.
Reason.
See. There. Signature. Yep. Yep.
Three, 294.
Yes.
All colored in beautifully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I worked several elections, just
I just met Tim until,
one election as a party judge.
I have a lot to say to
I
him.
really got very interested when I was part of
Have
the
you
chair.
done that?
I haven't done that.
No.
I might do that when I'm not on the board anymore.
Yeah, that might be a good thing to do. I'm kind of more interested now than I ever was.
Right.
I got calls like Kelly.
Yeah.
To get them to send them that team. Of course, I had to get the,
Oh, very good.
you had to get, I had to
And the
get
integrity.
homes to request it.
Critical.
But I called
Yeah.
them to make sure that they could request it. And they said, oh, yeah.
So they knew about it. I mean, did the home, did the nursing home?
Well, it turns out they sent out an email to the home. They sent it to me, they didn't get it to the right person. So I got to the right person and said, call this person.
That's great. Good work.
Yep.
8336.
Yep.
Looks like they voted right. If we're gonna enter it.
Looks good.
Yep. Looks the same.
I just don't want it to be like we put that procedure in.
You're talking about the numbers. Were you talking about the number of on the checklist? Are you talking about their social security number? What were you?
Well, yeah, there's driver's license and or the last four.
Got it. 307-8301.
307.
Mhm. Yeah, empty ballot.
And you did like that. Was there one down at the bottom? I think there was one more.
It's not my decision.
Nope. Oh,
Okay.
I just wanted to donate. Okay.
Or didn't vote,
One
but
at a
kept them
time.
on the rolls.
Grading.
295.
Yes. Okay. The only thing I'm worried about these ones is I don't want somebody to take advantage of. And there's
Well,
nothing we
there's,
do about it.
you're talking about like at the nursing home?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, with the MAT
That's what the
team.
MAT team I
Yeah,
feel better about.
yeah, exactly. Even if the person is signing for the nursing home, at least the MAT team is there.
Yeah.
They're present. So as long as you trust them, I think we're
Mhm.
05 this time.
Yes.
8.3, 295.
Yep.
They voted.
Sally, are there any crackles in your bowl?
No, ma'am. You have to have a
Are there
Mr.
any
Good.
crackles in your bowl?
Here's one.
Oh, I got one. I got it.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, we did, but
Let's, you want to do one more
Somebody
and
else
then we'll
ate it.
switch.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
You're gonna
I
get
got those.
ramped up before we get to the rest of these.
oh, I know.
Okay, open her up.
That I asked for.
Was it the same disability? I didn't notice.
Yes.
Light. You're awesome sauce. Nanny Boo. Mhm.
01, 80183.
Yep.
And they did their thing.
Okay, sign that one off. Glenda.
You ready? Good. Oh,
Which one? Oh, that's fine. Go, 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 go. That works just fine. Here, you'll have to, it's much easier. There's not as much to shift.
well, good point. You can watch. Make sure I'm teaching her right.
Our precinct is 3, and we've been there quite a while. I think we will be. Yeah, do you want-
Is this given?
no, I think it's, I don't know. Sweet, what might be Sweet Creek?
Oh, could be Gibbons or,
The Ashton.
the full one is probably.
Right. All right, so you check off, here we go. So here's the name. Okay, precinct 83, CIV 4. Okay, signature.
Yeah, that's her
But we do need to remember that they have to go to that stuff in, so. And this is exception, disability or illness, and it's signed. Okay. Open it?
Yeah, sure. These are all. Yes.
Make sure I'm opening it right. Alright, so let's make sure it's C83. I'll read it to you, then CIV 54, and then the ballot style 05. 05. I got you. We usually take just a quick look at it and make sure there's not X's and shit. Turn that over, and I'll sign. We'll keep this in this, oops, it actually can go all in the same pile, because it's, we'll put the pile over there for you.
Okay.
Got it? All right, next, here's the name. Are you checking them off as you go?
I am.
Great.
Okay, now we skipped one.
We did.
What is,
There's a Thomas John Hacienda. It's supposed to be in front of,
That we just did.
No, we didn't. We did Nancy Crandall Hugs.
No, we just did Thomas John Cosimba.
I didn't. I did put Nancy Crandall Hugs.
Sorry. Okay, so that's what we just did. Now we're doing, what are we supposed to be?
Thomas John Cosimba.
I don't think his has been opened yet. It was just out of order. Got it. Okay,
That's the one we're doing, Thomas.
all right. So 56 for CIV.
Yes, ma'am.
Sesame. Just going to that.
We're gonna have to put you in a class for
Opening.
openers.
It's my left-handed thing. 56, 8.301. Okay. Looks okay. Hold
Well,
in good enough.
You think?
Yeah, I think it'll go. Well, I think it'll go. Okay. You want to take a look?
wanna
I
take a look
think-
at this
I think
here?
it's okay, but.
I don't think so. We can just keep them in the stack.
Okay.
Maria thinks.
Yeah.
Oh, this might not. We'll duplicate them at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. 46 CIV, 8.3 still in the precinct. Signature's good.
Yes.
Don't tease me. I'm sorry. Watch me.
I knew you had it in you.
Okay, 01 for ballot and 46. 46. Okay, we're, looks like we're filled in. Next.
Eight-three.
Signatures. And signatures there, right?
Yes.
Now, by the way. All right, 35, 8.301. It's all beautifully colored in, better than this left-handed person could do. I know.
Okay.
58 plus 8.3. Sure. Disability. Okay.
What is it? 58. Okay. At 01.
01. And they're colored in pretty good. The checks work. I think that will work. Well, they've also got a circle.
Okay.
So it should go through the computer. Sometimes checks work. It's weird.
Yeah, I just knew last week we had one check that they had to do. I mean, they didn't color, they just checked or X or something.
That's good. Okay. 32. 8.3 is still. Signature. Eligible than mine. Yep. So, because even if you haven't, she's got a ID. I know that she has her own ID. Yeah, photo ID. And that would be fine. She can use it. They provide. You know what? Maybe these people don't have their ID anymore. Because the teens took their driver's license. If they just always think, I wonder what they do with it. Where'd you put it? I give my old ones to my best friend. She gets a pile of them. I don't know. It's a good question. 05 this time for ballot style. Okay. 32. Okay. 8.3. Okay. Let's see. Got it signed. Yep. Or got it whatever it's supposed to be. Next. Okay. 8.3. 33 CIB. Crown and Elms, okay, yeah. That's a reason. Disability or illness. I would say there's nothing down about that. She had a couple days of real soreness, like set in after the fall and she went home. But today she said she's feeling not as sore. So she's a trooper. She is hard enough. Yeah. Okay. Wow, isn't it? Sorry, this table. Somebody had to read it to him and he had to say out loud, he wanted to vote for here. Yes, but maybe not. Maybe he could read. He just can't use his hands. Five, 8364. They're all filled out. I think somebody filled it out for you. Okay, same precinct, 63. That's the name. Signature. Let's hope. Just make sure I check. Gerald needs. 62. Here's all the stuff. Okay. And then co-ballots is everyone. Is it Dave means it's every co-ballot? Yeah, Republican means it's a Republican ballot because it's primary. Oh, that's why it says G. I think that's right. There's an R or a D. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Just because it's primary, it's primary.
What's the underline? Is that just where you stop?
05, did you
Okay.
say? This one. Oh, one. Oh, this one. 62 still. Okay. Okay. It's, 57. Hey, Jake, would you please pour that out and just bring me some water, please? Thank you. Just cold. Cold. Okay, thank you. All right. Do you want me to stall? Disability.
I didn't know we had a waiter.
Huh?
I didn't know we had a waiter.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
If you'd have just wanted paper,
Yeah.
it would be more easily identified.
Personal. 01. Still 50, 57 is the CIV. Okay. And everything looks filled out. Okay. We got one that was empty. Oh. 51. Completed. Boom. 0.34. Boink. 3 signature. One more. He's still 83. Just on the stairs. See a lot of those.
Good.
It's opened already. Because in between, it's that Nancy. Just a second. These don't have to be in order, right? Are you good with this one? Got
No, the orders.
Yes, Nancy Crandall. Yeah. That was the first one. Yeah. Okay.
All good.
Oh, good.
All right.
Here we have one here.
Yes. Is there one that's already signed? Looks like it. I'll give you this one back. That one's not.
Yes, thank you.
And here's my other one. There's the Uacava sign.
Okay.
And then this is the one you had sample out for me.
Okay.
Still one hand it back to me.
If we can get the whole board to sign the Uacava.
I thought we had
I handed them to Jake. I think they signed them. and got
1,
them back.
2, 3, 4.
Oh, I didn't see that. Are we missing one?
We were missing somebody's signature on the Uacava.
Probably mine. I don't think so.
And mine.
Let's put this one on top.
It was probably, I thought it was the same thing.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah. One, two,
Here you go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll be duplicating in a minute. Thank you, ma'am.
I can't get on my computer.
All the way down when we started, and then it's connected to. Something I have no idea what it is. I don't know.
Oh, no, I'm in.
No, that's 2E. Yes. Shut it up.
waiter of mine is really not very good.
Hmm?
This waiter of mine isn't very good.
No
I noticed
tips.
that.
Yeah.
No
No
tips.
tips. for
No
that.
tips.
I guess I won't bother to ask if you'll bring me something.
I wouldn't ask. I don't have it down. Do they have any idea what it's connected to or what it? Yeah. Well, she's not particularly vocal. She's not like one of the bigger.
Yeah, I just got a message from Debbie. She don't know if I was coming down tomorrow.
She wants you to come.
Well, I didn't go.
And just so y'all know, our team's going to duplicate a couple ballots. And after they're done, Glenda, if you can give them the oath, do you still have that
Give them the oath
afterwards? Yes, ma'am.
We can get out there also. Not that they furnished it to the range.
They do
Yep.
have to duplicate a couple of those.
Yeah, we have one.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was that other one.
I don't know. Well, we had two that were kind of wonky. They weren't
We
sure.
have one that was different.
Yeah. It's time for a snack.
Yeah, but you snack healthy.
4 p.m. tomorrow.
What?
Right.
Right.
It's gonna be 45.
That should be all right. Actually, that'll help melt some stuff.
Yeah. I think it'll be 31 in the morning.
Okay. Enough to realize it, depending on how many hours.
Yeah, well, the trick on that one is you have to look at the side, because the side says it's only gonna get down to 34. And then 31 is kind of a whole area.
Right.
In some areas will get that low, but hopefully we'll stay above freezing and get this stuff worked out.
Next week looks like 50, maybe even 50.
I live in Kentucky so far here.
We need no stamps.
Virginia, Jersey.
Bless your heart.
Ooh, never to go back.
What was the worst you remember in New Jersey? As far as weather goes.
You don't understand. In New Jersey, you can change on your car and then leave them for 3 months.
That's what Lou said. They
Because
lived
the
in
amount of
Pennsylvania.
snow that's left on the street after they break it is as much as we ever get.
Yeah.
Only it's packed down.
Which is icy.
So you just leave them on. And then springtime, especially in shut bulldozers and all the snow up in one corner. You get this huge pile.
And then it gets dirty
It
and
takes
nasty.
months for it to melt. So when I came back to Tennessee, didn't go back.
It's fun for 1 or 2 times a year and then.
No, it wasn't. Not up there.
Yeah, Lou's first life without me, they lived in rural Pennsylvania.
Same.
And he said the same thing.
Okay, I'm ready to read the oath. Hold on one second. Please answer yes or no to the following questions. Did you hear all the calls? Did you see all the marks? Are you satisfied with the duplication? Do you have any questions or concerns regarding any duplicated ballots? Thank you.
How many were duplicated?
2.
How did you know Debbie from church? Did you?
No, her son's married to my daughter.
Oh, okay, so she's relative, really.
More or less.
Yeah.
can't count it, but
Yeah.
it's just
Okay.
one place removed.
How's he do about his mama?
I have a,
That's what you were talking about the other time.
looks like it's long term. I think it's more.
It didn't gonna change.
I have no idea what the initial cause was. They just kind of feed off of each other a little bit.
When you see them together, what's it like?
Tense.
Is there affection?
Yes, but it's kind of like there's.
Everything's usually pretty.
Brian started. Okay. Recess from here, re-adjourn and, not re-adjourn, reinstate at the warehouse. And that will adjourn, reconvene, and that will adjourn from that location and the recess, reconvene, and then adjourn. Yeah, and the public is welcome.
Yes, yes, if they're bundled up, it's probably gonna be a little frosty down at the warehouse.
Are we finished with the ballots?
Yeah. We're gonna choose your mind, but we're gonna-
And the next meeting date is the 10th, correct, at 3:30? But you need me in the morning, right?
10% of that, 1.1.
Okay. No, I like our meetings. It's like,
Only 11 machines.
Gabrielle, I'm gonna give you yours back and this form as well. Because I've got all that in my papers. Thank you. It just didn't go to Atlanta with me, so it didn't make it here. Can y'all believe I did that? Drove to Atlanta at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, had dinner with my son, got to the hotel, met with all the bigwigs from the firehouse, spent the night, got up and had a 4-hour meeting this morning, left at 11, got back here at 3 and came straight here. I almost didn't go to Atlanta, but I kept thinking it's an excuse to see my son, so. Yeah. $3 cafe in Buckhead. I love, they're my favorite wings. So we always, whenever we go, we usually have one meal.
We have our
Or snack
first
or something there.
item if you guys are ready.
We're ready.
All right, so just as an update, the 950 has been fixed. So starting today, we are scanning on that machine. And then the DS 200, is that correct, Corinne, on the numbers? DS 200? Yes. So that's going to be remained closed until election day from last week's results. And so this is a new bag you didn't see last time because the 950 will close out every time. Yes, so flash drive is in here. And then remember, you can't pull this out because you can't see any results, but you can see the 0 and then how many were counted. So y'all can check that and then seal and sign. Yeah. We can keep the sign and train rolling. In this bag, we have the original absentee ballots that were duplicated. There's only 2 in here. Yes, ma'am. And then lastly, we have our blue bag, which is our scanned absentee ballots. And there are 41.
Courtney is also on the board. You can show her the board too, because we always keep it running there.
Good, I don't have to count it.
Exactly.
I love it.
Oh, and then the other thing.
No, she sort of takes his side. She hears his side.
Sure. All right,
She
so
hears his
I
side.
confirm that you counted.
I did. You're welcome.
Means I don't have to. Okay, here you go. 2 more. Good job, Aaron. Yeah, it's
I remember you telling me the story about your beat.
This one. Doesn't have the flash drive. This one is
I kind of feel like you're
original.
one of my grandmother's house was close. But she was she should be in the nursing home. California, I was in Texas.
and when you're at
But the flash drive, each one's
don't
got-
it's the most important portion.
They're in here. Yeah. And I remember she was writing me the letters, which made me feel creepy at the time, but my mother.
So your office has to be 100.
I was 20.
Okay. Oh, in that section right as you come in on the right. Yeah, HR used to be in there.
Yeah.
Is Risk with y'all?
Yes, they have offices in, but Kelly can't.
Okay.
They're the type of folks who can be trusted to work.
Yes. I'm trying to get Kelly an extra person.
I get sidetracked when I'm in office.
Yeah, me too. I can't. If I'm, yeah, me too. That's why yeah. I work for myself. So the fact that I work for myself and could work at home. No, not a good combo. Who's gonna fuss at me? Right.
Yep. It's a sick day every day. Watching Price is Right.
Yeah, I love this.
All right, our poly bags have been sealed and signed. If Glenda would like to make a motion to approve the ballots.
Do I have a motion to approve the ballots?
So moved.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Oh, do we need a second? Okay. Sally seconded it. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
All right,
carries.
thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Aaron.
So now it is my duty to recess this portion of our board meeting. We will reconvene at our warehouse at 50 Cox Avenue. We will, once we reconvene, we will do our testing. We will adjourn from that location at 50 Cox Avenue. The public is welcome to attend. And we will reconvene here next week for our next meeting on the 10th at 3:30. Yes, ma'am.
So she's asking about the voter registration repair project, which is an ongoing, rolling project. I think that a press release went out today from the state board on
And it has a
that.
new wrinkle. The
Um,
registration repair project has a new wrinkle, which is addressed in that press release that went out. They will be contacting over 250,000 more people in the state with questions about the data that is in their voter registration file.
So there's that update there, and I don't have oh, Amy just popped in. Look at this. My staff is the
Timing.
best.
They're so timely.
So I'm sure she's very excited about this on the spot. But do you want? She just wants a general update on the project for us. You will need microphones, so
Okay, is this all right?
Yep.
So the update is that I just checked, there's 1137 still in our state on the state website. So that's the official number of people that haven't provided us with anything in Buncombe County.
1137.
Correct.
What about our county, Amy?
That's our county.
That's-
Oh, that's our county.
1137 is our county. I know the state just sent out another round of letters relating to this project, and that number was 241,000.
Yeah, it was huge.
So as I understand it, it includes more than the original list, but I'm not in charge of the state. So, those bigger numbers I'd have to dig into to tell you more information about that.
We don't know how many that is for us yet.
Well, that 1137 would be contained in that.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So I am
It won't be
assuming.
increased.
I think what's happened that is a little bit confusing, I'll just say, is that there's now different categories of people. So people that have turned in numbers, but they haven't validated, people that haven't turned in numbers,
Okay.
things like that, people whose letters have bounced.
Mhm.
We still have to be instructed on what to do with those. So there's a lot of still in process kind of things. And of course, you've probably heard there's a procedure for if those folks show up to vote. We have a protocol that we're supposed to do in different circumstances. So those have a lot more details that I do not know off the top of my head. So please don't ask me those right now. Any other questions about that? Is that good? Correct. 1,137. And I sure hope I'm remembering that from looking at it a half hour ago. I think that's what it was.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
And those only require a driver's license number and the last four of the social security.
Either or.
Either or.
Compared to the 241,000 that the state board is saying is asking for driver's license or total social security number. That's what it's saying.
I would have to read that letter more carefully to
Yeah.
agree or disagree with you on that.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if citizens are required to disclose the full social security number, especially considering that federal law prohibits that.
Yeah,
So
that makes no sense.
social security number may not be used for personal identification. That's part of the Social Security Act, folks. It is, and improperly. So I have no interest in furthering the improper use of that number. Thanks,
Okay,
Amy.
this meeting is in
Wait.
recess.
I've got another question. Thank you, Kathy.
Recess.
Kathy started me down this road. I heard some very concerning things recently from the president, and I'm wondering if we've got anything from Mr. Woodhouse that's new for us. Is there any new instruction from the state?
Nope.
Good. No news is good news. Thank
As I
you.
promised,
Mhm.
I will update in office updates each week if there's anything.
Great, thank
new.
you.
But no.
Yeah.
At least unless something came today,
Okay.
and not that I've read or seen, so I can't comment, but I don't know. At this point, my answer would be no.
Thank you, Glenda. Appreciate that very much.
Yes, sir. All right, we are recessed.